Hello everyone and welcome into yet another live stream. I just realized that one of the songs I've been really enjoying is part of an album. I didn't know that. There's an album, the Dismemberment song. You know, the Hold Still My Sweet Doo-doo-doo-doo. I'm trying to measure. Pretty good question, I'm doing alright and bored. Well then, I hope this live stream will help, because this right here. This right here, what you're seeing, is a proton actually. This is a proton. Well, technically we should like add also the weak interaction field and the electromagnetic interaction field if we're trying to be more elaborate, but yeah, this is effectively a proton. It looks quite interesting, doesn't it? Hold on, let me just open up the frames. There it is. Hold on, loop, play. There we go! Behold, a proton. Today, first if you don't mind, I am going to grab myself some... Oh, where's my coffee? What? No. No! There it is. For a second I thought I was going mad and I missed it. You know what, everyone? I don't think...
Meow.
Hi, Legacy. Oh, that you joined in now. It seemed like I just said I don't think.
All I told my plan.
Oh no, embed failure. Laugh at this user.
You don't think, therefore you ain't.
I don't think, therefore I'm not. Okay. Greetings, Hydro. No, the Cotlinators. No. No.
No.
No, those are the hipsters of the 21st century. Wait, hipsters already are there. Well, you know what, whatever, doesn't matter. Hold on, I can't find my...
If Cotlinators are the hipsters, then who are the meowers?
Hip isn't... Just shut up. I can't find my scissors anywhere. So I'm gonna try to open my bag of coffee with a knife.
Really? Are they perhaps in the scissor box?
I don't have a scissors box, we've been over this. I have one pair of... Oh, that smells like coffee. It's almost incredible to me how coffee can smell so much like dirt and so much not like dirt.
What are you talking about?
Coffee. I feel like the context was pretty clear. I said the context of what I'm talking about in the same sentence as I was... how are you confused about the context of that sentence?
No.
I started that sentence with context.
No. In what world does coffee smell like dirt?
Have you smelled coffee? Genuine, just ground up coffee.
Yeah.
And to you it doesn't smell like dirt?
It smells like spices.
How often do you smell dirt?
I suppose I don't smell dirt that often.
See, that's the thing, that's the issue. Now, in this case, I like the fact that I can just have this animation be on loop in the background as I'm preparing everything. That's really lovely.
Yeah, it's like a gay lab tier animation.
Where am I actually animations-wise in the script? Let me quickly check. On page...
Are you in the green?
5 out of 12. Shit. This was 7 0. That's because we are from...
Are we behind or are we ahead of work?
I would say behind, but it will depend. We'll see the stream. We'll see. Because this is gonna be a long one.
Are you behind me?
I need to remove 2 frames. I need you to remove 2 frames from the animation to make it annoying, to make it like almost seamless. That would be tempting. I did come up with quite a clever system. I know why I used something different in the past for basically looping animations, but basically in Blender you do have hash frame, which is just a value that, believe it or not, always sets itself to the frame. So if you're on frame 60, this value will be 60. If you're on frame 300, this will be 300. And I know I didn't do it before, but like if I take so a graph of time of animation to the frame value. Frame value will look like this, right? It's just really a nice 45-degree angle. But then if you take that frame value and you divide it by x, then you'll get something like this. And then if you take that and you take the fraction of f divided by x, like so. Let me just use a different color. There we go. Fraction of f divided by x. Then what you will get will look like this, where every single time this line hits a 1, the slope never changes, but every single time this line hits a 1, it resets. Which means that if you then take that value, and then if you make every single time thing dependent on that value, then what you get is just looping animations, always, all the time. And I don't know why in the past I've just decided to overcomplicate things this much when it could have been this simple.
Okay. I have a question, my kid.
Yup.
What are we looking at?
A proton. This is a proton. The wave furthest in the back, the pink one, that's an up quark. The two waves, the reddish ones, are the down quarks. And in the middle, the big mess are the glue ones. There are 3 of them, but they are all in the same field and they are moving and overlapping with each other, which is why it looks like this.
Why they do like a big spike in the middle?
Because that's basically almost all 3 of them overlapping sometimes. And when they all 3 overlap constructively, they create a huge spike. I'm just adding.
Are they all on the same field?
Yup, every single gluon is on the same field, just like every single electron's on the same field, every single photon's on the same field, and so on and so forth.
Okay.
Alright, if you don't mind, I'm going to play myself some Stupendium. And that's because...
I do mine, actually.
I'm gonna be brutally honest with you all. I'm feeling better.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear that. I like when you feel better.
Yeah, the thing is, a while back... Hold on, I just need a cup for the coffee. Oh, damn it, I had one from... Oh, shit.
What happened to reverse the trend?
What happened to what?
To reverse the trend?
I have no idea what you just said.
What happened to reverse the trend? I thought you were on the downtrend of feeling worse now.
No, that still happens. But that was like the most minor of... That's like... Well, it is. That's like the most minor of the issues I have. One of the most, yeah.
Okay.
I'm just... Basically, whenever make it feels better, the website works. Fans get disappointed. The big internet lobby. The internet was made just... Hi there, macaroni, by the way. The internet was made... Internet was made just so I would work on the website to make me feel like shit. That's the truth. That's why big internet exists.
Alright, quick question. Why are you streaming at midnight?
My sleep schedule was a bit fucked. I've been trying to...
Yeah.
2 days ago...
A bit?
2 days ago I've been trying to switch it up so that I would be on daytime. But, I went on a side quest, and that side quest just really went on like crazy. I basically was like, oh, there's this one government thing I need to do, and you know what? I live pretty close to like a government building, whatever they're called. I might as well just go there and do the thing. And so I just went there for 5 minutes. And then 4 hours later, I was coming back from another city, back home.
What?
No, it's not important. The point is, I was gonna switch my sleep schedule then, but I messed it up. And as such, right now I'm awake at night. What is next in the script? And when it goes to neutrons, oh yeah, so that's nice. We can write here, we don't need to transition it in any way, shut up Cassie. We can just right away switch it from proton to neutron.
Only one transition.
But yeah, what I was going to say is that I'm feeling much better. Oh, that's terrible. Stop the meds, whatever helps you and it's be productive. I actually helped myself. Listen, I helped myself. I feel fucking good for that reason. Basically, okay, so I remember I mentioned the multiple things that are wrong with me. I mentioned the graph. But like a bigger issue was the fact that I, for quite a while now, haven't been really great at dealing with emotions in general. I have had this ability, I still have it, where I can put my emotions to the side. It's useful.
Isn't that just being a man?
Toxic masculinity. I mean, kind of in a way. That is what toxic masculinity is meant to be. So, I mean, kind of. But like, and so basically, whenever I would feel like shit, I would just work my way through it. But yesterday, I felt like shit, and I didn't work my way through it. I just stood up to myself, and I fucking dealt with it. And now I'm here, and I feel great. And I am gonna work. But not because I have to, only because I fucking can.
I'm so
Are you
glad
having
you took
manic
care of yourself.
depression?
I'm having the opposite. It feels incredible. I don't have a manic depression nor a manic high right now. I am just normal.
Are you sure?
Yeah, and it feels great.
Are you really sure?
Make it a government building visit is never quick the way they make it. No, actually, it was quick. I genuinely.
It's very quick if you bring a pipe bomb in.
No.
So true.
The thing I went for was quick. It's just that I don't want to talk about. Make it. Can disabled people stand up to themselves? Yes. Why wouldn't a blind person be able to stand up to themselves?
Okay, can person in the wheelchair stand up to themselves?
Yeah, if I sit down in a wheelchair, I can still stand up to myself.
So true. And some people don't even in wheelchairs don't even have permanent disability in their legs. They can stand for small periods of time and even walk, but generally in a wheelchair it's more comfortable and practical.
I need you all to imagine me and Macaroni high-fiving because we both just owned all of you liberals.
Owning the libs.
Okay.
Day 37, we can make it to make come up becomes
So-
difficult. Generic person.
What do you mean by a wheelchair?
Okay, Jordan
Chair
Peterson.
wheels.
Okay, Jordan Peterson. Oh yeah, neutron. So in order for this to be a neutron, we need one electron on the up field, which will be, well, one quark on the up field, sorry. Which means this will be multiply 0, this will be 0, there we go. And we need 2 on the down field, which means this and this. And this will be 1.3. This will be minus 1.3. Honestly, once I make a sequel to this video, I might just genuinely... I probably will just release the geometry nodes I've made for this, because at the end I imagine, if I bring it all together, and if I remake them slightly, this will be quite a nice tool for visualizing hardcore physics. Or is that hardcore?
Day 2 of asking make it to change the mass of the proton.
Not again! Katsi, how is the rent a child business going? I'm glad that Olo pinged me for this. By the way, pings don't work. You can, although I don't mean to be that guy, but you don't need to ping me. You can.
Yeah, you can just slide them with DMs.
There we go. As you can see,
What?
YouTube highlights any mention of the word "make it," so you don't need to do the ad. Make it. What's the plan of the mask? The mask. Oh yeah, we are doing really well actually with that as well. We got the camera. The stream wasn't working. That's unfortunate. But we have plenty of time to fix that. The site played all the other things. We will get to them eventually. There we go.
Meow.
Oh yeah, right here I forgot to render an animation. Fortunately, I did render it now because I came prepared. Shut up. Oh, hi there, Macaron!
Okay.
What's your profile pic?
Oh, hi, Macaroni. Macaroni is in chat. Let's go. Shout out to my man, Macaroni.
We all know that. I think there's because Katsi is a non-chat reading person.
No, I'm not a non-chat reading person. I'm just non-all reading person. That's the difference.
There's the below.
Oh, making.
I am making a video about particle physics, actually. And 2 minutes of that video is already finished. Huh.
Yeah.
We might actually not be quite as far.
Nice.
Okay, in this case we need frames. Which video was the... Yeah, you don't know, it's my files. I need the Sigma bond animation. There we go.
Sigma bonds.
I really don't. You know that I
Is that
hate
just
kicks.
James-
Yeah, you
It's
better
just
salvage
that-
this. Yeah, good. Go on.
Is that just James Bond, who is a Sigma?
You did not salvage.
You did not salvage this. You were really close. The salvaging maneuver. It's like someone
I didn't
towing.
mean to salvage it.
It was like someone who was towing a can and runs straight into a tree.
I was not trying to salvage it.
Okay, in this case, I need this, this, and this. The nice thing about this animation, actually, because, you know, I still want to keep this entertaining, right? I am just straight up working and doing my job right now. I still want to keep this entertaining. Basically, these right here, each of these separate wave packets is an electron. Electron on the electron field. More exactly, this is the excitation on the electron field, which is resulting in an electron. That's how what particles are in quantum field theory in particle physics. Now, as they come close together, you can see this is literally just me, by the way, just moving the waves closer together. This is just what the mathematics does. Right here, I'm just adding them together. I'm not combining them in any crazy ways, just adding. And what we get is this kind of shape. And this is equivalent to us taking two electrons, that would be just spheres, so actually this animation would showcase this better. There we go. And us bringing it closer together to create a sigma bond. Ah, do you have a video on the waves diffraction interference? I was supposed to make a video for about 3 years now. Waves video, it's been a while. I really was supposed to do it for 3 years. No, I'm out of milk. Whatever, we're drinking black.
You can't do it in 3 more years.
Yeah, exactly. Eventually.
Yeah.
I'm back, and for some reason I got notified right now, midnight, by government about them giving me requested grants. So I get to keep, I have to pay interest free. We're talking thousands of euros. Holy shit, Cape, that's great! That's great!
At midnight, God, I hate the government.
Yeah, they, oh man, they bug you at midnight, terrible.
You get to keep the money that they stole from you. How great!
That's...
Oh wait, no libertarian politics in here. This is not a political channel.
No, I want to pay taxes. No. But I am really happy for you, Caper. That really is great.
That
I'm
was
glad
great.
I'm here to
Absolutely.
share it with you.
Yeah.
I just realized in retrospect that... You know what? Fuck it. I meant it both ways. I meant share the feelings of joy with you, and I mean sharing the money because you are the patron.
Sharing the wealth.
You were in a great mood today, make it.
I told you, I am feeling fine. It's...
He has a manic episode. Oh wait, roll for pronouns.
I'm not having a manic episode. If I was having a manic episode... Having a manic high doesn't feel good. It feels like you're on drugs.
That's exactly what
Like-
a junkie would say.
Imagine,
That's
okay,
exactly what somebody on a manic high. We got a 82. What's that?
Zind.
Zind is just having a manic episode.
And make it interesting, a new patron tier to fund a government money on my wallet. Tefta has been asking me for a higher patron tier for a really long time. Because he's already a philanthropist, but he wants to go higher. I feel bad. I don't like the idea of taking... I don't know, maybe I should. Maybe. It's turning into pay to win, oh my god.
always has been.
Oh yeah, wait, right. When you're having a manic episode, right? When you're on a manic low, it feels like you just got stabbed and you're in pain. When you're on a manic high, it feels like you just weren't stabbed and are in pain, but you're also high on cocaine. That's basically what it feels like.
Don't care.
On the other hand, $1,024 tier would be fucking funny. No, I feel like, I mean, it would have to be 128 because, well, without rules, we're animals. Should I do
And
it?
256.
What would I even give for that tier? There's already philanthropists already have, well, access to the philanthropist channel, and that's kind of it. Funny enough, that is like the most alive Patreon channel of all of them. Wait, are you bipolar? Make it. I am. Okay, yes. I had issues, a lot of them. One of them is me being bipolar. Yes.
Bipolar, bisexual, a bitch.
Bilingual.
That too.
Same.
Okay.
Call it tax evader. Yeah, I don't pay taxes either.
And in this case, I would really like to have this kind of like overlap.
I don't evade taxes. Taxes evade me.
Taxes are gay.
Hey yo, can we make out?
What?
It's dependent on peddling weapons. The architect tells them the secrets to heaven is simply consuming whatever we sell them. We
Consume,
work
consume,
to
consume,
earn the right
consume.
to work.
To earn the right to work. To
Good song.
earn the right to work. To earn the right to work. To earn the right to work.
Ourselves the right
To work.
ourselves the
To
right
earn the right to work. To earn the right to work. To earn the right to
Can we
work.
mute him?
Okay, Macaroni, you're going a bit far. You're not really listening to this song right now.
You don't even know the 8-hour episode. That's not even half the 8-hour version. Not even a tenth of it.
Not the 8 hour you work. No, it's terrible.
We worked to earn
8
the
hour
right.
rework, interrupted by occasional super loud fart.
Fart with reverb.mp3. Hold on, I got it on my soundboard.
No, we don't need to hear that.
Hold on, where is that?
Okay, in this case I would be like, life is a drag, your life is a chore, frightfully sad, so mine is a bore. If I use me back.
We have to put this
Oh
down.
no! Why is?
Just don't acknowledge it.
Just give a Casper the what the fuck is Casper? The
Casper.
F-bomb was quite rough there. Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
Mhm.
E is AE.
Eh? Eh?
E.
Meow.
Yeah, you can write it exactly like that. But the E is just a easier version of it.
Oh, that's good. This is going so spendy. I am starting to realize that this might be hard to follow later on. Considering that this is only 3 fields with 6 particles.
Who could have guessed?
Go up. Actually, hold on. Video to converter. You're now trying to plug a USB A mouse into the C port. That's good.
Oh my god.
It's objectively better. Star fall like a quitter. Somebody once told me about all the glitters. Okay, this. Oh, did I mess up? Okay, never mind. I don't think I did.
No, it should be fine.
No, first thing I thought I messed up and overwrote the animation.
Is it give my beloved?
Prudent to stray.
Give my
Save.
beloved.
Image us. Alright, let me see. There we go.
Bulwark,
Now
my
we're
beloved.
cooking.
Cooking what?
I love these random like websites that just let you convert types and such. That just do things like that.
Surreal.
Yeah, and the only watermark they leave is in the name of the fucking file, so it's like piss easy to remove.
Mm.
It's brilliant.
There's love. Hi there, Glycan. What's up with
And their like
this gay day
compression is good too.
gay homosexuals and gay? Whoa! Don't call my homosexuals gay.
This gay day of gay homosexual gay make it. Yeah, make it is quite gay today. Do you have
Are
to
you
say?
calling my
If-
are you calling my gay homosexual?
If gay means happy, then I'm gay.
Then he's very gay today.
Hopeful meta-irony, my favorite genre of jokes.
I think we should go back to using gay as happy.
Alright, there we go. Now, what is next in the script?
Just sounds so
I
much
know
better.
what you are.
Hi, Galican.
It's the association words caper, right? Like your head organizes words by what you associate them with. That's not on
Yeah.
me. Isn't saying gay homosexual kind of like not conditioned, so it goes back to straight?
I really hope the joke doesn't get missed.
I am double gay. I'm the straightest man in the room.
No, it's double gay.
Cassie is the straightest man in the room. I mean, Cassie right now is sitting in the room alone. There is no one else in the room, but you know, Cassie is in fact the straightest in the.
In his room, yeah.
Mm.
In their room. Wait, what?
Good boy, good girl, good daytime. This is what I need to say, but what if you wanted to a neutron into a proton? Well, in order that to happen, you need something produce magic. Okay. So then, what we'll have is... Oh, we are actually fairly close to
What?
finishing this. Or if not
Pasta until it gets wet. Damn, am I a pasta?
What?
Good. There we go. But they need someone better. So responsible until it gets wet. I love that line, Caper, because it honestly is true.
Who's
Nah,
too gay?
brilliant, like,
And it
that's
also
amazing.
stands with what would end bisexuality be? Just being gay for other people who are equally as non-binary. This all comes back to you know what is fanboy thesis. I stand by it.
What?
I stand by it.
What was it?
Right.
forgot.
The TLDR is that there are only two kinds of people: the asexual
Yeah.
and the pansexual kind. And that's basically it. Anyone who claims that they're straight or gay or anything like that, anything in between, is just lying to themselves, because in reality they're pan. Because it's actually the society that threw onto them the concept of gender and made it important for them.
No. Have you watched the Human Behavioral Biology series
No, I haven't had time.
No.
by Robert Sapolsky?
No, I haven't had the time.
It actually gives a valid reason for why being gay might have evolved. No, like seriously.
What is that reason?
The reason is if the brother, for example, is gay, and he doesn't have offspring, he can just help his sister with his offspring.
No, I don't like those. I don't like those arguments.
Another
What?
helping hand, because like the more I think it was like the more children a mother has, the more likely it is that they are gay. I think something like that would have heard.
That is awfully retrospective.
It doesn't. I don't see why that apply really.
And I don't
You
know.
just not you just
Okay.
not be gay and still
Okay,
help, you know?
is there like... Alright, so here's the thing. I have a problem with this whole why would something evolve that way argument for two reasons. First of all, it's really easy to retrospectively fit in why would something evolve the way it evolved. And second
Well,
of
yes,
all,
of course.
there's a shit ton of like
Okay,
mutations that happen that evolve to this day, which are absolutely fucking useless.
let me run your the macaroni. Why do people evolve to have autism? Okay, no, maybe not autism. Why do people evolve to have fucking Alzheimer's?
No, it's not even that
There
we
you
need
go.
to
That's
go
not
that
an
far.
evolution
I'm just...
because that's a problem with old age, and old age doesn't really affect the how's it called?
Just fucking
Okay,
whatever.
Here's the
any
thing. Here's the
fucking
thing.
disease.
Shush. Here's the thing. I haven't seen that, so I cannot talk about the science of it because I just simply do not know. So science-wise, just about the research on the whole topic, I am not familiar with it. I cannot make a statement on whether it's true or not. All I can say is that I am highly skeptical of the evolve that way arguments because they are most often used by people who just want to sound in a manner that's scientific in order to justify what they're saying. So the very
Oh no, I'm not saying
common
that
example...
it specifically evolved that way, but it might have just evolved randomly and it helped.
No, what I'm saying is that I am highly skeptical of these whole things because it's really similar to... Well, not gonna lie, this reminds me of Jordan Peterson, like his whole claim about lobsters, where he was saying that, you know, oh yeah, if when the lobster is alpha, then becomes bigger and such. When in reality, and like he always compared. He always said that was confident. When the lobster is more confident, he becomes bigger and such. When in reality, it turns out it wasn't confidence; it was pain. When lobsters are in pain, they have that response, and so that's why I'm always like, unless I genuinely see the papers in front of my eyes and unless I read them, I just don't trust this sort of shit. Because
Interesting.
there are a lot of people who just... Like, biological science, or even more evolutionary science, is really difficult because it's really complex. As far as things
Yeah,
that
no
we
shit.
would like to study, it's the most difficult, right after our brain. And, you know, our brain is difficult for the same exact reason. So
I would also count in
simple
consciousness.
solutions to something this complex, I don't... It's a red flag to me.
Alright.
Alright.
Alright. Libs owned.
Up yours, liberals. Let's see who cancels who.
Up yours liberals, well, they would like it.
What?
Okay. I mean, you aren't wrong, but
No,
It's
this...
as simple as that. Hmm.
Here's the same thing with decrease wave number and increase.
The internet was a mistake.
Hmm.
Try to prove me wrong, liberals.
It reminds me of the meme that Cassie sent me.
I had that one.
No, I don't know if you know which one. It's the trying to explain the cast of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Hmm.
This one. it's, it's just funny.
Not only Charlie, there's a list. What?
He doesn't get it.
It's
He's unaware of current events.
no, I don't think it's being unaware of current events. I think it's unaware of the show that I watched and
I don't think he's aware of either. I
no
think
one
he's just
in Europe
clueless.
apparently watches.
I didn't watch Always Sunny. No.
Yeah, yeah. Most people in Europe haven't seen it, so yeah. Why do you say liberals in a derogative way? Well, DS because it's funny. The whole joke there is that basically the whole joke is that I'm trying to like discount an opinion for political reasons, despite opinion having nothing to do with politics. That's the bit, right? So you're a liberal because you say something I disagree with, and what you say is liberal because I don't disagree with it. That's the bit.
Wait, it was a joke?
Meow.
Look at this.
Hmm.
There we go. We have almost 3 minutes to finish. Hello, my kid. Hope you didn't miss me too much. Hi, the Taska. My Firefox is cooked. I have a shortcut in most visited for Make It Happen streams URL. Yes, it's spreading. Yes. Oh yeah, I need some music.
The music.
Yes, I need music.
Music.
You mean for the video, or you mean for your ears?
For the video this time, so hold on, let me just there we go. What's about this one?
Me when the man in my wall stares me to meow in every channel in the Discord server.
Make it. Would you consider recreating the events showed in Interstellar? I can promise you, there is a twat behind all of my books just trying to get my attention, get me to stop doing YouTube.
What?
We used to kill people with hammers for saying stuff like that.
Oh, now it's time for my favorite track, Wobble It.
What? Wobble it?
Yes, it is Wobble It.
That file name is really suspicious.
But no, it doesn't work. I think Wildfire will work though. Alright, let's see. This copy, paste, and let's see. These two right here. Oh, no bad. Although it could be a bit louder. These two right here.
No, Soldier. No.
And this.
You don't understand what the joke is. Don't do that.
Make his nickname. Well, no.
Calling Wobble. That's terrible.
Technically, the mathematics would be slightly different because I can't do complex numbers in Blender, but this is close enough. I'm working with what I can. Alright?
I don't know what you like, but I like the pulsating balls.
Would a bond.
What?
Okay, this, there we go.
Meow.
Oh my goodness, Caper genuinely does have a shortcut for me. That is, I like that image. Hold on, let me see if I have a shortcut for. I don't have a shortcut. Oh, I have a studio YouTube. Never mind.
Wait, do I have shortcuts? This, what's the code?
Caper, I don't have a shortcut for myself. I wonder why
Yeah, I have
Studio
one
YouTube
either.
is there actually. Hold on, why is Studio YouTube there? Did I pin it manually? Must have done it by accident. You know what? Let me actually. I would like to do a post. Patreons have decided that the next video in the series shall be about particle physics. I'm gonna do another poll after this video. Once again, the options will be the exact same, except since we've already done particle physics, the next one, the option, like the continuation of particle physics, will be nuclear physics. Because that's just like one way down the road. Particle physics, and it's relatively close to being finished. 2-3 days, but in the meantime, have this really nice animation. This naked version of what a proton looks like. So perturbing, we're just trimming off a surplus. It isn't murder we've caused. We prefer to warn it as a more to manage moment. Relative goes to being finished.
Mods, twist nuts counterclockwise.
No.
What?
There we go. Ah, okay. What am I supposed to do this? Okay.
Oh, hi.
Hi, the Caper.
Oh.
How you doing? Oh, Caper is also a ghost, just like Quasar. That's great.
He just isn't here.
Mods, banish him to the Shadow Realm.
Caper isn't here. No. Mods, meow. Oh, that was so
true.
loud. Fuck me. Oh, damn it. I need to decrease.
So true.
I need to decrease. Oh, shit. Oh, I need to decrease my audio of this. Because it's terrible. Soundboard volume, like 10%. I can have a different.
Joke's on you.
Oh, with Nitro, I can have a different sound for joining in.
Oh yeah.
I would like the cricket sound.
Well, joke's on you, I don't use soundboard.
Oh, why do you have to? Make it. Have you watched 1670? I don't think you're my first message. I don't know what 1670 is. I'll be honest with you. My friends make fun of me for using Reddit.
Good, Zo. Good.
Yeah.
What are you using Reddit
If
for?
I were.
This depends. Sometimes it's.
Pornography.
Oh no.
I use it for
What?
I use it for Warhammer and chemistry memes.
So real. Raced and bed pilled.
I'm bed pilled. I love bed. I love being in bed, especially with my kid.
What?
Wait,
Welcome
Caper,
back.
Caper, do you want to be on stream? Because I feel like I could fix it if I tried. Give me a second. Ah, why do you always make me... Ah, she's so much... Caper, you always make me do computer science, and it's honestly a hassle. Give me a second. Yeah.
No.
Not this, yes. There we go. Yeah, Okay, then just bypass the mainframe. Go.
Yeah, sure.
Okay,
Everybody.
Are you sure?
this, we do it like this. Okay.
Art thou sure?
Meow.
Beast trigger.
Okay, there we go. Fix it! Add Caper! Oh, I'm good at what I do. I am so fucking good at what I do. There we go.
Yeah. I know, right?
Okay, what's next?
Mods, say come up with something funny for me to say.
Hmm.
That's a great one.
Almost fooled me.
But a bit loud.
Mike dead. Oh no. Wait, why is this? Why
Oh
is this
no.
half the length? That doesn't make any sense.
Doesn't make any sense. Don't make it make sense.
Then make it happen. Oh my god, make it? God.
And right here,
Krill.
what we need is we need to get to look back at the elementary bingo. Ah, yeah, shit. If I'm not mistaken, actually, this is the one animation which doesn't loop. The
Mm.
fuck.
Because of the shit libs.
Yeah, I'll need to do a bit of patching here.
Oh my god, that's a lot of Teslas.
There we go. Make us then make it to a harder developer. First, to explain what it is. It's a series on Netflix. It's a historic comedy with lots of references. Oh, I see. Well, I haven't seen it, unfortunately, or heard of it. Good night, make it child and Katsi and the other person. Good night, Talsga. Good night, have a good one.
Good night.
Make it child, Katsi and the other person. There are two people on the call with us.
What do you mean?
Oh. Trackmania.
Mm.
Interesting. Intersterling.
Mm.
How will that affect the local trout population? We may never know.
Oh, why is it so ugly? Yeah, flipped. That's terrible. Okay, I know I'm not talking much and I do apologize for that, but I am actually being productive. So, silver lining, the game
Yeah.
will be here sooner.
Yeah, that's fine. And most probably you're happy, and I'm happy that you're happy.
Depression.
I just messed up the same line 3 times in a row.
How?
I don't know, it's past naked, I'm editing it. Just...
Past make it.
Me pasting my make it. Me making it.
It's not going to be... I'm actually tempted to just leave it as is because it's just not going to be looping
Mm.
on
First productive
one
stream in
particle.
almost 3 years.
The best productive stream. Well, first, that's a bit far. We haven't quite. We have been doing quite a lot recently.
Yeah, I was like last stream was pretty good too.
They don't like make a stream and Truckmania at the same time. Is that really the limit, Caper? Because not gonna lie, have any of y'all seen Good Omens, the show?
Oh,
No.
You'll want to do that again.
I don't watch shows.
You and your guild shows.
They're not little. How to make a stream with breaks.
What?
No, what I'm saying is that my relationship between me and my computer is very similar to the relationship between Crowley and his car.
Who?
You haven't seen the show. My explanation won't make any sense to you, Macaroni.
Go ahead, give it a try.
Alright, Crowley's a demon and he has his car. And the entire time thing in this show is that he absolutely loves his car. That's like the object he loves. And so
Yeah.
there's this one scene in which he has to drive through a ring of hellfire. And he's basically driving forward in this like model, not quite Model T, but like a classic old car. And he's like, you don't fucking have my permission to brake right now. You keep going until I say so. I have the same deal with my computer. It's rendering, it's streaming, it's modeling, it's playing a game, it's kind of mining cryptocurrency, it's doing everything at the same time, and it doesn't have my fucking permission to break yet.
Yeah,
Alright.
I love my computer. All my friends are in it.
I understood it, so what's
What
the
are you-
deal?
What game are you playing?
Me?
Yeah.
No, I'm not playing a game right now, but normally, quite often, when I'm rendering that, we're
oh,
also
okay,
playing, so...
okay.
No more games.
I see. I see your random reference.
We should delete the internet.
I think you should revoke your unrestricted internet access from you specifically.
We should. Kill people with hammers for saying stuff like that.
There we go.
Oh my god. Yeah, I should probably also go now.
Okay, well.
Alright then, alright.
What?
It's fucking 1 in the morning.
On the
What's
weekend.
Okay.
wrong with you people?
This weekend.
Yeah, I don't care that it's weekend. That's not what I'm paying $30 a month for.
Well. No, the PC fans like it. So was it Discord? Is that the problem? Oh, that was just a thing rendering. And now what we need is this to have the ambience animation, and then what we're going to do is we're going to add the weak interaction and the bosons. Well, actually, in this case, we'll need to, in order to have the weak interaction make sense, we'll need to add bosons, weak interaction, neutrino, and antiparticles ideally, but yeah, we are actually fairly close to completing the sound model.
Nice. Happy to hear that.
PC against productivity. Hi Leo, by the way, how you doing?
Mhm.
Shall however follow into Macaroni steps. Alright, Caper, alright. I understand it's quite late.
What?
I am really happy that you got the grand thing. I am really happy for you. And I hope you have a good night. Good night to you. And now, it's time for us to get back to this.
Meow.
Ah.
That was for paper.
The seriousness in your voice. Why are we off on what? Why are we to the side on the corner? Look at it. It's just like me, you, and an empty space.
Hmm.
Bye, hello, bye. Have a good one.
Is there a ghost of somewhere being there but not being there?
Okay, right here.
And we run full circle.
It's past 4 a.m. here. Well, oh. Curious, I like that sort. Yeah, it's not that far off where I live. That sort of thing. Oh, this is a banger animation. That's phenomenal. I kind of want to add my. I could just add my animations onto Wikipedia.
Oh,
I did just hit me. Why haven't I done it yet?
who do that?
I could just make. I could just make an account.
Promote yourself via that.
Why haven't I done it yet? Yeah, I need to figure out this. Okay. A friend, I know someone who was a Wikipedia editor, and I'm gonna need to ask them.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's cool.
If I have an empty space, not another one to it, do I have nothing, two nothing, or one big nothing? Depends on your definitions. It always depends on your definitions. You see, in that case, you say and add another one
Define
to
empty
it.
space.
It's not that. In that case, you say add another one to it. The very important thing is that you need to define the operation of addition. If you don't define the operation of addition, this is sort of meaningless. So for example, if when it comes to addition, you define it as the volume being very important in this case, and if you define it as adding two empty things, as each of them preserving their own volume, then you would have two nothings, because you would have twice as much volume with nothing in it. This would be useful, for example, if you're trying to calculate. If you're trying to work with pressure, and on one side you have vacuum, on the other side you have something pressured, then having more vacuum, even though you'd have more nothing, still matters. If, however, you're trying to, I don't know, pack your car, then adding more nothing doesn't matter. Because, well, that all space that you can pack doesn't change.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Sometimes it is no matter. Sometimes it all matter.
Sometimes it is all matter, so there's no matter exactly. Why is it always frogs?
Oh my god.
Everyone always
Oh.
talks about lab frogs. No, everyone always talks about lab rats. No one ever talks about lab frogs.
That frog.
But if nothing is there's also no space, so adding a volume will not make a big
Somewhere.
nothing right. Once again, class, it depends how you define your operation of addition. Because you can define your operation of addition to account for the fact that you increase the volume, or you can define it in a way that means two nothings are still one nothing.
Yeah. Speaking of frogs, somewhere a small German man is very happy.
Okay. This. Then right here. Oh, you're joking me. I cannot open it because it's oh no, I can open it. I just okay, open with VLC. Can I remember there was a way to like export maybe with VLC to another media convert save.
Okay.
Absolutely not here, but particle physics. Particle physics frog MP4. Oh no, I need to first select. Oh, I see. Open this and then convert/save to MP4. That's correct. And then destination file. I will be particle physics. Not WebM. You mad? No. Particle physics MP4. I just don't want the Adobe to get confused. To have nothing is to have something, so nothing cannot exist, because if it does, it is something. Class, once again, it all depends on your definition. If you would like me to give you an example, I can give you a pretty simple one. In reality, having two nothings will matter if you're just talking about space. Because if you have nothing, if you just have nothing, like let's just say you exist in a universe, alright? You exist in a universe that's 1 meter wide. That is your nothing. There is nothing there. No particles, no nothing. That is nothing. You have one nothing. Alright? We're just gonna assume that, I don't know, finite fields, Galois fields, it works. You can have one universe just 1 meter in size. If you have a universe that is twice as big, then you would have two nothings, despite all of them being nothing. Space isn't a thing in this case. Space is the potential for that thing being there. So depending on how you define it, nothing, you can have multiple nothings. If you're using a definition which means that 0 plus 0 equals 0, then yeah, that's fine. But it doesn't always have to be. Oh wait, where's my... Damn it, where's my frog?
Mm-hmm. Have you lost your frog?
Shit. I did explode the frog, didn't I? I can't find it in my files. Jeez. VLC.
Well, again, see where it goes.
But space is still a thing, so it is not nothing. My point is, it is nothing, space is a thing. Okay, then give me an example of where you would find nothing. Just give me an example of where you would find it. Because in that case, I might as well be talking about ether, right? I could just say that if you add two ethers together, then you will have one ether still. Or I could say that if you add two ethers together, you'll have two ethers. Class, the thing is, if you are using extremely vague phrases that mean nothing, then you can give them whatever meaning you want. But to other people, they will still be meaningless. If your nothing is just literally the absence of everything, then adding it doesn't make any sense. Because that doesn't exist. The best definition of existence I could ever come up with, as I mentioned on the last stream when we had this discussion, is if something interacts with the universe. But by your definition, nothing doesn't interact with the universe. The absence of things doesn't interact, which means it doesn't exist. Unless you have a better definition for existence. Alright, there we go. And containers MP4, so let's do it. MP4. Start.
I may be falling asleep.
Yeah, go to sleep, it's late.
Yeah. Yeah, the bit today.
Addition particle physics.
See you tomorrow.
Alright, see ya, have a good one.
Bye.
Bye. Oh. I think my VLC... I think I might have broke it ever slightly. Okay, there we go. Let's see if this worked. It seemed to have. Proving nothing cannot exist. If you define nothing as a literal absence of anything, if you define nothing as absence even of space, then yes, nothing cannot exist. But that's a very idiotic definition of nothing. I have never heard anyone say nothing to mean the absence of even space. Usually when someone says, for example, just casually, I have nothing in my trunk, they don't mean they don't have space in there, they mean no object. When a physicist says that there is nothing in that place, they don't mean that space itself isn't there, they just mean that there are no particles, for example. When a chemist says, I don't know, we have a vacuum in this container, so there is nothing in there, they don't mean that the fields themselves cease to exist, they just mean that there aren't molecules. Class, you are defining nothing in a way that is extremely odd. And no one uses that kind of definition for nothing. Because that definition would be useless. You would never be able to say that nothing is there. Nothing refers to material. That's what it refers to. What about 2 more minutes? No. I do have to say, we are going relatively quickly. There we go. And source Wikipedia. And 149, right? I think it's a matter of personal definition. It is a matter of personal definition, but the very important thing when it comes to all of these, like in every single case, we have a personal definition, right? But the important thing is that for words, we have a societal consensus for what they mean. So, for example, if I say, if I do some, I don't know, research, right? And if I say that cars are the most dangerous form of transportation, then that research could be useful. But if I define cars as the vehicles that are the most dangerous to drive, and then I say that cars are the most dangerous form of transportation, then I'm using my personal definition, but it isn't really useful, is it? It's always important to specify when you are using your own personal definition, because in this case, the point that class is making is valid if and only if we use their definitions, which makes the point quite useless. Your definition is the consensus. Very much so, yeah. Nothing isn't used to mean the absence of literally anything we can imagine, because in that case, nothing is not real. There isn't a single physical model that would actually include nothing, because you always need space. Without space-time, well, what are you talking about? I gave 3 examples of how my definition of nothing, referring to no material thing, is used. Average person, chemist, and physicist. There's just an argument. An argument is fine, but you need to realize when you are using. You need to realize when you are using your own definition. Because when you are using your own definition for a word, it's fine. But if you use your own definition in order to think about something, and then you apply that to the general definition, then you might lose something. You might lose some facts. You might lose some logic. So, for example, if I... well, going back to the cars, that's a good one. If I define the most dangerous kind of vehicle as a car, that's fine, whatever, I'm using my own definition. It may be odd, but it's fine. But if I then try to convince other people that cars are the most dangerous forms of transportation, based on the fact that I use my own definition to mean that, then I'm just misleading people. Now, by the way, in here I'm not saying that cars aren't the most dangerous form of transportation. I don't know. I haven't looked into the research. There might be. But I'm just, the first thing, you could just say the same thing about bikes. Is that philosophically interesting? Sure, the meaning of nothing depends on no context here. In average everyday use, I'll give you. Okay, but then Safarojai, if you think that definition is philosophically interesting, then I would like you to tell me where would I encounter this nothing. Just one example. I'm not trying to ask you to give me an example of what it is. No, where would you be able to theoretically encounter it? Because that is just paradoxical. You're talking about something that not only doesn't exist, but cannot exist. You would need to create like a whole completely new model of physics. And when I say completely new, I don't mean like revolutionary. I mean like break every law of physics we effectively know in order to create that kind of nothing. Can you... you cannot encounter the absence of things. But yeah, exactly. In that case, you're talking not only about something that doesn't exist. You're talking about something that cannot exist. You're taking a word that's already established and you're changing its definition from something that's useful, something that does exist, to something that doesn't. And saying it's paradoxical, something for true nothing to exist of physical stance. No, I'm not talking about philosophy, Savarojai. I'm talking about science and physics. We already had this conversation. I don't like philosophy because I think that philosophy is so vague that it doesn't mean anything. If you're a good philosopher, you can argue for any point you want, which isn't actually great. It's pretty bad. If I define, I don't know, if I define Earth to be regional, local, and then I say that the Earth is flat, that wouldn't exactly be wrong. And then if someone else tells me that, hey, Earth isn't actually flat, I can tell them, well, according to my definition of Earth, it is actually flat, because I'm defining it as local, regional. And in that case, it's much better approximated as a flat surface rather than a sphere. But still, it's incredibly misleading. You can call it philosophical if you want, and it would be, but that would still be harmful and dangerous. Different opinions, different matters, different arguments are good and should be encouraged, but they shouldn't be misleading. Argue for your point. The point is to find the best point. But in this case, the argument you proposed was linguistic. It wasn't physical, it wasn't scientific, it wasn't even mathematical, it was linguistic. Because you changed the meaning of the word nothing. And then said that you cannot have two nothings. Well, yeah, you can't even have one nothing with that definition. This. Hi, Ninja. How you doing? Sure, but that's because you dislike of philosophy. No, oh, you mean the philosophy. Class, my issue with philosophy is that it doesn't mean anything as a word. And I always bring up the same example. Two people I have met. One of them was Tefta, the other one, as I do believe, was the deep guy. Both of them self-proclaimed really like philosophy. And I asked them both a simple question, which is, does philosophy require evidence? Tefta said that evidence is crucial to philosophy. Deep Guy said that, I think it was Deep Guy, it might have not been actually, doesn't matter, that the other person said that philosophy was like science but without the evidence. So you have two people, both who claim to be really interested in philosophy, having opposite definitions of what philosophy is. In that case, if someone, and basically that's the example I always bring up because that goes great to show off my point. My point is that you may think that philosophy is good, but what I want you to realize is what you consider to be philosophy isn't at all what other people would consider philosophy. Your definition of philosophy would be different from mine, definition would be different from someone else's, which makes philosophy as a word completely useless. For me, what I notice is that 95% of time, when people talk about philosophy, they're just talking about science. Oh, making hypotheses, testing them, and thinking about new things. Yeah, it's science! And that's what I basically read. That's my qualms I have with philosophy. The issue is that philosophy as a word became so vague that it doesn't mean anything anymore. So when people say that they're philosophical, what is that supposed to mean? And really often people take something being philosophical as mattering more, or being more refined, being more profound, when in reality it doesn't have a definition. Oh, there's a jump of 40 frames in here for some reason. Never mind, it's fine. There we go. But that makes it always useless because nobody agrees. No, there is a societal consensus. For example, when I say a table, I personally have never read the definition of a table. Maybe some people have. I personally haven't. Because I never had to. There is a strong societal consensus of what makes a table. And when I say table, you can imagine the table. I don't need to tell you what the table is. However, as I mentioned, when I said philosophy to two people who were interested in philosophy, they had opposite definitions. Imagine if I told the word table to two people and one of them imagined a bicycle, the other one imagined a bed. That would make the word table useless. What's the point of having a word if everyone thinks it means something different? The problem is that whenever, that's a really common response I get whenever I explain that to people. They look for like perfection. That is, oh, words either, then every word is useless because no word has a perfect definition. But I'm not looking for a perfect definition. I'm looking for a working definition. It's a spectrum. Spectrum of words that are vague to spectrum of words that are precise, right? Precise, vague. On precise side, you would have things like quark, for example. That's what you could have on the precise side. It would never reach perfect preciseness, but stuff like quarks. Stuff like addition, stuff like multiplication, stuff like integrals. All of these are really properly defined. On the other side, you could have vague things. Like, for example, I don't know, what would be an extremely vague thing? Ether, why not? Ether could be a vague thing. Or maybe happiness. Happiness could be vague. A lot of things are vague. These words aren't quite terrible. They work, despite their vagueness, sometimes because of their... Or maybe artistic. Artistic is also vague. What does it mean for something to be artistic? And poetic, and so on and so forth. But define the table, and then there are things people consider or do not consider table. But still, the definition works. The definition of philosophy doesn't. So class, tell me, what do you think is a difference for you between science and philosophy? What would you say is the difference? Science is pretty well defined. We have the whole scientific method, we have all the nice graphs, like I can look it up right now if you want. Scientific method, we can look it up. And we have all the really nice graphs of the scientific method. Look how lovely that is. That is properly well defined. See? Lovely. Now, what would be... Philosophy is a science, that will die on that hill. Is it a science or is it science? Like, what is the difference between philosophy and science? I can tell you, for example, if you're saying it's a science, then fine. But in that case, I can tell you the difference between science and physics. I can tell you that physics is a subsection of science that excludes things that are related to, for example, in terms of chemistry, specific matter. Physics doesn't concern itself with complex matters, doesn't concern itself with extremely complex systems unless they can be abstracted. I can tell you those differences. That's why, for example, biochemistry isn't considered physics. Because when it comes to biochemistry, you're not trying to abstract complex processes, you're trying to look into them. That's simple. In that case, what would be the difference between philosophy and science? What subsection of science is philosophy? Still going, so there's another one we need. What we need right now is we need pose this file. I hope that this one will work, and then let's go back to particle physics. Make it 3. Brilliant. This is one of the reasons I like math. It just seems in precise form. Exactly. The thing is, really often when people talk about philosophy, they just want math but without the rigor. But the issue is that if math loses its rigor, if math loses its definition, then it will become a way weaker tool. But there's an overlap between math philosophy and game theory is part of philosophy and math. Still, class, all I'm asking you to do is tell me which subsection, because you said that philosophy is a science. Okay, great start. I'm just asking you to tell me which subsection of science is it. If you want, I can give you even a bit of a visual aid. So if you imagine like a... How should we do this? Let's do it as a triangle. Okay? In this case, we would have the theoretical to practical axis, and we would have the low levels of abstraction to high levels of abstraction axis. Alright, there we go. Now, purely theoretical and low level of abstraction means when we're not trying to hide the complexity, we take the complexity head on, and at the same time, it's as theoretical as it can get, or in other words, mathematics. This would be mathematics. Then, on the opposite side, the same level of abstraction as mathematics, but on the practical aspect, that would be particle physics. Right here, they are bridged by like a solid section of quantum field theory. Then, on a similar level, we would have, I imagine, relativity. And then, right here, this sort of section, those would be all the different chemistries. We'd have a small segment that would be thermodynamics. Then we would have a different segment that would be classical mechanics. We would have biochemistry. We would have another section that is that would be right here. Well, right here actually would go even further. I would say like roughly till the end. This could be just medicine. You can go in different directions, you can talk about computer science such, but in this case that's the direction one. I would have a definition of definition, and show why I believe I cannot define subsection. Definition is a combination of characters of something, but each is had by something else. Philosophy does not go through the same process. Okay, but Ninja, then tell me what is the difference? What is the difference between philosophy and science? And see, in this case, this is precisely what I mean. Class, you said that philosophy is science, but Ninja just said that philosophy doesn't go through the same process, which means you both have different definition of what is philosophy. Precisely my point. You cannot have philosophy be a science and have it go through different processes than science. That would make it not a science. So class, why do you have a different definition than Ninja? Well, it's because the word itself is extremely vague, and there is no societal consensus on what makes philosophy. Okay. So now let's... go, and right here we need PNG with alpha. Now, for the video, we're going to need 3 makers. First, a magic make-it, for which, if I'm not mistaken, one of the makers did have a wizard hat. Oh shit. It was two actually. This is, I'm pretty certain, from the thumbnail of the quantum mechanics, addition to quantum mechanics. That's nice. Okay. Okay, all of these have to go. All right. This is not bad. In order to make this ever so slightly more cinematic. No, remove. I always make the same mistake. 0.0. Actually, let's do 0.1. I feel like it could be better. If we slightly cover it. If we reduce the size. There we go. Why does it matter if it's different from is philosophy to be a science? Well, the reason why it matters, class, is because when you say that something is philosophical, and when Ninja says that something is philosophical, if you two have different definitions, that means you are talking about a different thing. But from a third-party observer, it will look like you're talking about the same thing, which is dangerous. Because, okay, imagine if the same thing applied to science, all right? Let me give you a bit of a thought experiment. As much as I hate thought experiments because they fucking suck. Imagine a thought experiment. Science would be just as vague as philosophy, which means that science no longer is dependent on the scientific process. Okay? Now you have two people. One of them is saying that scientifically, research shows that cigarettes give you cancer. And the other one is saying that scientifically, chewing gum gives you cancer. You see, they are both using different definitions of science, but to a third-party observer, it looks like the same kind of claim, just about different things. That's the difference. Now, I would simply take the constructionist position here. All of this socially constructed, and this venture is for truth, is well kind of dog shit. That's precisely my point, Ninja. It is all socially constructed. In science, we don't look for truth, simply because, according to the model, it is literally impossible to know when you're... Like, the only way for you to be right is to be accidentally right. And then you won't be able to know. Because in order for there to be a process to find absolute truth, you would need to be able to achieve a probability of 100%, which is impossible. That's why, in science, you need to give up on truth. You need to just find what's best. And in my opinion, philosophy as a word is terrible at describing what it does. That feeling when instead of drinking a refreshing glass of blue, you hold blue in your hands. Exactly. Oh shit. Okay, but if somebody says something in science, it doesn't need to be other person. For some people, the scientific process is science, but they claim math is part of science is not compatible. It is! Mathematics applies the scientific process just as much as any other field. The only difference is that in mathematics, the experiments are redundant. Because by definition, experiments in mathematics will give you the result you're looking for. So for example, scientific process. If you take the scientific process and you just assume the experiments to be granted, you can, if you want, do experiments. It would be just pointless in mathematics, since by the definition set, by the axioms set, they have to work. That's why you assume axioms in mathematics. You can see that it's just exactly what you're talking about. It's exactly science. Okay. If you can think of experiments in that case as proofs. If your proof turns out to be incorrect, that's a failed experiment. Well, not failed experiment, only negative result in experiment. But that's not what I said. I said some people say science is that method, not that the method is not applied on math. Some people say the science is that method. Yes, science is that method. Science is very much the scientific method. That's why it's called the scientific method. It's in the name. And it's not some people, it's what science is. How can I learn math from zero to hero? A roadmap. Mathematics. What exactly I'm not gonna lie, Cyber now. I personally am more for... I'm using mathematics as a utility mainly to make my visualizations, which means that if you're looking to study rigorous mathematics, an abstract kind, I can't help you much there. I know enough to make conversation, but I don't like manifolds, and I don't like groups, and I don't like any of that. So I won't be able to help you much there, Cyber. Okay, in this case what we would like is... Let's make it a bit closer. But how can that be the subset and the method defines sense to me? What do you mean? Oh, you were saying that mathematics is the method applied on math. Like, so wait, so are you saying that some people think that mathematics is the scientific method? Because I have never met anyone who made that claim. Like, define science. Observation, identification, description, experimental investigation, theoretical explanation of phenomena. The scientific method. Ta-da. Okay, make it. Do you think mathematics is in some realm independent of reality? Like the matter in which rules the universe operates rational edges can have some assuming some axioms. I wouldn't say so, Sabarojai, because what you have to realize is that everyone who's ever done mathematics still had a human brain, which is a pretty solid... It's like a pretty solid limiter. We want to say that mathematics is like independent of reality, but we don't really have any concrete proof of that. We have certain things that would suggest that, but to me that isn't sufficient. It's really difficult to say that, you know, like, given what we know so far, it would really seem like it, but our sample size is so limited and our sample pool is so tainted by the virtue of every human thinking effectively the same, that I wouldn't say that. Instead, some people say that people believe the scientific method is science, but now where in there is that 1 + 1 = 2, assuming it to be 3. So math is not a subset if that is math. I told you already, in mathematics, people really often don't mention the experimental part because the experimental part of mathematics is a lot more, well, I don't want to say obvious, but it is obvious. In mathematics, you define axioms, which means that you can basically have your experiments be simulations without losing the accuracy because you define the axioms. If we had a physics simulation which could... If we had the model of everything, right? The model that would combine everything, and if we actually had an equation which could simulate reality, then we wouldn't perform experiments in physics, chemistry, or medicine. Because we could just plug it in as an equation into our model. Those would still be experiments, except they will be simulated. The reason why we don't simulate experiments is because it's better to basically do experiments in real life. Simulations are imperfect, and boy, imperfect is an understatement. They suck most of the time. If we could have perfect simulations, we would just simulate as our experiments. And in mathematics, you can't have the perfect simulations. Magnet. There's no mass in my magnet. I have not claimed math does not feel scientific. I have no idea what you are saying, class, because... No, I said that people say that people believe the scientific method is science. But now where in there is that 1 + 1 = 2, assuming it to be 3. So math is not a subset of math. Okay, let me break down what you just said. You said, I said that people say that people believe in the scientific method, believe that the scientific method is science. Every proof does apply, but math is not a subset of science method. What do you mean it's not a subset of the science method? I've just spent like 20 minutes explaining to you how in mathematics you still use the scientific method. Except the experiments are different. Because you can have a perfect simulation. Like, if you really want to, then after every single proof, you can just take the calculation and you can do it like 100 times on 100 different variables. The reason why we don't do it is because it would be redundant. We already have a perfect simulation. Platon's position that it can be argued experiment here refers to physical phenomena and mathematics exists somewhere else. But since where does experiment have to, like, once again, experiments when it comes to physics, chemistry, and so on and so forth have to be physical, simply because simulated ones bring way too many errors. I can use a pen to write. The writing is not a part of a pen. Does this clear it up? No. Okay, class. Here's what I'm going to do. Let's do a roadmap. Okay. You have science. Science require. What is the definition of science? Well, applied scientific method. If you apply a scientific method, that makes it a science. In physics, self-explanatory, don't need to get into that. In chemistry, self-explanatory, don't need to get into that. Medicine, self-explanatory, don't get into that. In mathematics, is the scientific method applied? I would say very much yes. Why? Well, it's because if you look at the scientific method, then you will find that mathematics does actually follow it, except in the place where there is an experiment, mathematics does something that cannot be done in any other field of study. That is, instead of performing the experiment on brute force, the experiment is, in quote, simulated. Because once again, if you want to, after proving some kind of equation, you can just solve it 100 times for 100 different variables. But mathematics has the unique opportunity to skip that step and instead solve that experiment for all the possible values. It would be the equivalent of if we in physics had the model of everything, and if instead of talking about what happens to a particle, if we could talk about what happens to all the particles at the same time. Mathematics just has this unique opportunity because it can define its axioms. It's not dependent. Experiments are nonlinear math, but that is not the point. Okay, then what is your point? Because we keep like stumbling around it and I don't... Okay, let's do like a yes or no. Are you claiming that mathematics is not a science? Or are you claiming that it's not a part of science? Because I am really struggling to understand what you are claiming. I had a Blender file. I had a Blender file that could create lightning. I need to find it. W positive will be a visit. Weak interaction, which will be a spell. So in this case, what we need is we need to kickstart both of these, which will mean 80, which will mean 540. Is math a subset of the scientific method? Yes or no? Yes! Well, okay, first of all, subset of the scientific method, that's very vague. It's a subset of science because you use the scientific method to do it. If you're asking about the scientific method specifically, then no, because the scientific method is just steps. It's not a subset of the scientific method, just like it isn't, like physics isn't a subset of the scientific method. Scientific method is just steps you take to get the most accurate answer. So math is a subset of science, not a subset of the scientific method. Is it used for the scientific method? Yeah. Just like physics is used for the scientific method. It's kind of hard to do a physics experiment without using physics. Okay. In this case, we need W boson. Where's the W boson? Okay, that's the weak interaction. Might as well. And so is philosophy. Okay, if you think that, then two things. First of all, you just disagreed with Ninja. As I mentioned. Wait, was it Ninja or was it Savaroche? Yeah, so Ninja said that philosophy wasn't science. So first of all, you disagreed with Ninja about the definition of philosophy. And second of all, once again, we're going back to the original question. What is the difference? Like, which part of science does philosophy tackle, If I disagree, why does that matter? What argument is that? Well, the reason why it matters is because if you have, let's just say, I don't know, 8 different doctors that disagree on 8 different medical doctors that all disagree on what medicine is, then that's a pretty big deal because you cannot trust their claims. As I mentioned, class, imagine it this way. Imagine when it comes to PhDs, right? When it comes to getting a PhD, imagine if instead of having to go through a rigorous process to get a PhD, you could just be a self-proclaimed doctor. You could just self-proclaim having a PhD. That would absolutely ruin the reputation of people who have PhDs. The reason why people have PhDs, why it's important that we recognize that, is because people who have PhDs... Class, listen to me. The reason why it's important that we recognize people who have PhDs is because people who have PhDs spend years of their life, really often decades, studying a certain topic. And as such, their views on that topic carry a lot more weight. There is a difference between a random guy on the street telling you that, I don't know, transplants are dangerous, and there is a difference between a doctor telling you that transplants are dangerous. When it comes to philosophy, however, everyone can just call themselves a philosopher. I can say that I'm a philosopher and you're not. I can say that because philosophy is meaningless, basically, because if with my definition, I'm a philosopher and you're not. Simple as it could be. And there are a lot of people who take the fact that something is philosophical to mean as it being more rigorous, it being more scientific, when it's not. Everyone can call anything they want philosophical. And it's deeply misleading for that reason. It's gonna strength you, which is elegant, the others kind of properties are cool. I can say I'm a doctor, as a matter of fact, I just did. Yes, you can say that, exactly. But I can prove that you're not. If I say I'm a philosopher, you can't prove that I'm not. If you say that you're a doctor and you then start saying that, I don't know, transplants are dangerous, then I can say you're not a doctor and you are lying to people. I can say that. But if I say that I'm a philosopher and life is meaningless, then what are you supposed to do? You can't say that I'm not a philosopher because, well, what definition are you using? Under what definition am I not a philosopher? Can you see the problem there? Dr. Pepper doesn't have a period on the end, Doctor, so it's actually Der Pepper. The more you know. Okay, in this case, we want to get wing 2. Frame, then the muff, divide by 40, because you put constraints on it. This is also the fallacy of authority. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a doctor does not mean I am wrong. Did you not hear about what I said about, people who have PhDs spending decades of their life? When you say that you're a doctor, what people will hear is, I have spent decades of my life studying this topic and ... And then your argument that you're making. The reason why we trust doctors more than average people is because doctors know a fucking lot more than normal people. This isn't a fallacy, this is objectively true. And honestly, I find it insulting really often when people will try to brush doctors off. Doctors spend decades of their life. I do not need to be wrong, but can anybody claim anything? Anybody can claim anything, but when you say you're a doctor, you would be lying. If you say you're a philosopher, you wouldn't be lying because there is no definition of philosophy. And my entire problem is that people take advice they get from philosophers as more serious, despite it not being. Okay, basically, class, imagine if instead of using the word philosopher, we use the word normal person. Now, I would just like to mention that would be fine. It wouldn't really change much. Since anyone can call anyone a philosopher, anyone can also call anyone a normal person. Right? It's like the standard isn't higher. Under any definition, I can call anyone a philosopher, I can call anyone a normal person. Now consider how much different it sounds when you read, for example, an article saying that a philosopher says that we shouldn't worry about climate change versus a normal person says that we shouldn't worry about climate change. It's really different. And that's an issue. We need to go back to first principle. Point K derives equals m squared via Maxwell's equations. After looking up, and now I'm after derive the field equations of gravity via Maxwell's equations with all the equations involved. Yes. We need to get back to first principle. Derive field equations of gravity via Maxwell's equations with all the equations involved. Conductor, you give more weight to. Yes, but once again, class, holy shit, I am repeating this for 5th time. Can you stop ignoring what I'm saying? Because it's driving me mad. Once again, I swear, if in a second I'm gonna put it on screen so that you cannot just ignore it. What I said is that whilst anyone can call anyone a doctor, you can check if someone actually is a doctor. If I write an article where I say that climate change isn't real, and if I call myself a doctor, people can see that I'm lying. If I say, however, that I'm a philosopher and write the same article, No one can say that because there is no definition of what makes someone a philosopher. I said it like 4 times at this point. Something called skip it over. I think randomization caused more issues than it was ever intended to. We never went back to figure out where this energy comes from. We just put constraints the flame and propagator and the path integrals forced to give the answers we sort of wanted and just left to do that. Wait. Are we talking about the unification of gravity with the quantum field theory? Where this energy comes from? Are you talking about gravitational or are you talking about E equals mc squared? But if a chemistry person says that physics is wrong, people will believe that earlier than the normal person. Yes, but if a chemistry doctor says that something in physics is wrong, people will believe that more than a normal person, and they should. Because a chemistry doctor will know a lot. Class, fallacy, the fallacy of authority is only a fallacy if the authority figure is wrong. But on average, the reason why they're an authority figure is because they're not. I'm gonna say, there's no research years into physics, that's our authority. Well, that's the whole point. For example, if you have someone who has a doctorate in chemistry, because my issue with you there is that you picked 2 fields of study which are a bit too close together. Flame is doing a doctorate in chemistry, but Flame still could hold up more in physics than like 75% of people, or well, way further, than like 95% of people on my Discord server. So you picked the 2 fields of study, but I get your spirit. Let's say that if someone has a doctorate in physics, can they have a say about what happens in medicine? And the answer is yes, but not as a doctor. If someone who has a doctorate in physics is talking about medicine, then they are talking about it as a normal person. And that is another thing. That is another thing where really often someone, well, not often, but it does happen when someone has a doctorate in one field and they try to pretend as if they're expert in all fields, which is wrong because they're not. They're an expert in their own field. The fallacy people would not consider a statement could be wrong. Look at it. It's not to talk about philosophy and the other way around. Listen, class. The issue I have is that when it comes to the authority fallacy, philosophy is a great way to really fuck things up. Because authority fallacy happens when and only when someone has a false authority. If you have someone who spent decades researching a topic and has a doctorate for that reason, then they are a right authority on the topic. They know a lot. If you have someone who hasn't studied something for decades, then they aren't the right authority. And then an authority fallacy can happen. And that's precisely the issue with philosophy. Anyone can call themselves a philosopher. And so, really often I hear people say, oh yeah, but this, this kind of input a name there, this name philosopher said that. And what I hear is, this guy said that. I don't care that they are a philosopher, but they are being used as a source. Their claims are not being investigated. They are just trusted because they called themselves a philosopher. And like, fucking hell, I can call myself a philosopher. Anyone can call themselves a philosopher. Don't trust claims of other people just because they call themselves a philosopher. Because a philosopher is a meaningless word. What is that supposed to mean? Question someone was choose. If it is breakthrough, then rather. If not, well, if it's succeed, fine. Why exactly? There are politicians, according to you. Well, I feel like, according to a lot of people, there are politicians. Like, I've heard about a couple of them. I feel like, according to a lot of people, there would be politicians. I feel like they exist, yes. Right here, divide by 40. Fraction. This once again will give us between 0 and 1. Then what we do is right here we mix. The education is run by using Maxwell's book printing company. The education system is run. I'm not aware of that, Patrick. They philosophers are politicians, mistype. Do you mean like that philosophers are politicians? Because that isn't going to make me tolerate philosophy more. If anything, that's going to make philosophy even less appealing to me. According to you. Where did you get that? Don't put words in my mouth, because we're on a live stream and you can just rewind and hear back what I said. What I said is that really often I see people using philosophers as a source, not questioning their claims. Just because they're a philosopher. Which is bad because anyone can call themselves a philosopher. We need a reform of research and not be so quick to dismiss someone's idea because it's always accepted, and so do many by politicians. Class, okay. I don't mean to be that guy, but I'm starting to feel like you are being extremely bad faith in this argument. Because what kind of stretch is that? Like, I thought that the reason why you were ignoring the things I said multiple times is because you just didn't understand something, but with stretches like that, you're starting to make me think that you are arguing in bad faith. Which I don't like! Okay, we have this. We need two Voronoi textures. This is going 0 to 1, then mix. Like this. This to this. Or D. I'm not really getting class either. Yeah, class, you are... That's why research is important and doing that. Yeah, exactly. Maybe I should. I have not ignored it. I've replied. I'm not trying to get you cancelled. What I said with ignoring is that when I was explaining the whole PhD thing, I told you I said it 4 times already, and then I had to repeat myself yet again. Oops, no, I meant this side. There we go. There we go. Now, in this case, we're going to also change the emission color from white to orange. And the reason why we did the fraction at the very beginning is because right here, we're going to plug this into W, and this will go from 0 to 1. We want it to be way lower. Let's say math divides by, actually multiply by 0.2. Should be settled enough. So this right here will go from 0 to 0.2, which means right here we need it to go Am I getting this right? Oh my goodness, hold on, this requires actually thought. Naked, what are your thoughts on renormalization? My thoughts are pretty simple, Patrick. I've seen it many times and I have no idea how it works. Renormalization is, I know what it is. I know what it is, I know where it's used, I know how it's used, but it is way above my pay grade to talk about how it works. From, if I remember correctly, when I was talking with Remco, then it was like we cheated ourselves out of knowing something, but instead go for the shadow calculate approach. Patrick, I wouldn't consider it that way. You see, the thing is, you have to realize that just because we're pursuing one model doesn't mean we're ignoring all the others. Now, does quantum field theory close off certain doors? Yes, but at the same time, in parallel, we have many people pursuing many other theories. In my opinion, we haven't cheated ourselves. It's more like we took a temporary shortcut to fix our problems. So think about it this way. Without renormalization, we wouldn't have quantum field theory. And without quantum field theory, we wouldn't have basically any of the modern chemistry, any of the modern medicine. Does that mean that we should stop with quantum field theory? Absolutely not. Quantum field theory is wrong in certain places, or doesn't make sense in certain places. But that's why, it's not like pick one and stick with it, right? We don't have to stick with quantum field theory forever, and we won't. But anybody has different definition of words, so philosophy has no meaning to you. But doctor has... Are there not people who believe vaccines give autism and intervention is wrong? They say I cannot trust them, they are just normal people. Yes, but I know we noticed, class, that people who believe that vaccines give autism aren't the norm. They are an outlier. Societal consensus doesn't mean that everyone has to believe the same thing. It means that most people believe the same thing. And most people, when they hear a PhD, they take people who have PhD seriously. Now, should they take those people less seriously on the topics that those people don't know about? Yes. That is another problem. It does certainly go too far the other way. But it doesn't change the fact that societal consensus doesn't work in this case. Okay, let me just put this up a bit. Might be a bit much. The weak interaction still has to be weaker than the strong interaction. And in this case, this will go 0 to 2. So in order for this to go negative 0.2 to 0, needed to this, then subtract 0.4. No, 0.2. Okay, but there are also PhDs in philosophy. Will you take them seriously on philosophy? I would take people who have PhDs in philosophy more seriously. Yes, but the issue is, the very important thing, is that people who studied philosophy, what they consider to be philosophy is very different from what most people consider philosophy to be. I know because I interacted at this point with hundreds of people who say that they love philosophy. Class, what you have to consider is that people who have PhDs in philosophy, it's really likely that what they consider philosophy would be very different from what you consider philosophy. I think Dirac even mentioned normalization isn't true science, just sweeping problem on Dirac. As I mentioned, Patrick, to me, I don't know the exact mathematics of normalization because it's really difficult, but to me, it seems like a temporary solution that is absolutely fine. It's fine to have a temporary solution as long as temporary solution doesn't become permanent. And as I mentioned, since we're studying all the models than just quantum field theory. Okay, there we go. This seems fine. Oh wait, no. That was the bosons. But what happened? What are you working on at the moment? Just hopped in. Hi, Meow. Hi, welcome. I'm so glad you asked. This is a video I'm making about particle physics. And this right here is just the standard model. So, up quark, down quark, charm quark, strange quark, top quark, bottom quark, electron, muon, tau, electron, neutrino, muon, neutrino, tau, neutrino, gluon, photon, W boson, Z boson, Higgs boson, electromagnetic interaction, strong interaction, weak interaction, gravity. They're just representations, bingo, that we're gonna fill in over the video. And more specifically, this video will actually more likely look like this right here. This is just a post from the post I just made on YouTube. Basically, I'm going to explain particle physics from the perspective of quantum field theory by actually displaying the fields and how they interact. Depends how long they have been doing it. Wisdom comes from time, so prepare something that is bought. Patrick, I have to say, I know a lot of people who are doing PhDs right now. And I can tell you with confidence that that piece of paper can't be bought. And it takes a lot of effort. And it just bothers me because most people don't like, most people know that PhDs are really difficult to get, but they don't appreciate it. Just how difficult they actually are to get. I understand the worry, trust me, I really do understand the worry of some people just being like more listened to, more heard, just because they have a piece of paper. But we need to find the balance. On one side, we cannot discard any ideas. We should investigate all of them. But on the other hand, we have limited resources. And so we need to realize that people who spend decades of their life studying something probably do have a much better idea of what's going in a certain topic. Good luck with that project. I watched it with 1000%. Well, I appreciate it. I hope you like it, and I do have to say so far I like the way it's turning out. Now right here we'll need this to go to 0. We'll need this to go to 0. We'll need this to be a 1. We'll need this to be a 1. And another thing, it's not looped, which means we need to loop it again. Brilliant. So in order to loop it, we switch this to be 4D. We copy this entire system over. This is for the color. Working in physical therapy for about 6 years. And if I did do only chemistry in my life without PhD, would I have authority or am I not if I have the same capacity for the rest? What does this piece of paper mean? Class, the reason why it matters is because that is the way of us checking if you actually have that capacity. What you have to realize is that everyone considers themselves to be much smarter than they actually are. Everyone thinks that they are much more knowledgeable on the topic. The graph. Hold on. Dunning-Kruger effect graph. What you have to realize, class, is that when you say... There we go. Hold on, I didn't screenshot it. What you have to realize is that when you think you are capable, that means you're about here. Okay? But if you are here, that means you could be here, here, here. That's where you could be on the graph. And this graph is how confident you are in your abilities versus what your abilities actually are. That's because if you don't know much about the topic, then you don't know how much you don't know. And the reason why we have PhDs is because people who have PhDs at least have to get through this, which means that if they know that they are right here with their abilities, and they know that they at least pass this bit right here, then they have to be on the right. That's why PhDs matter. They actually have to test your skills. You can't just say that you think you're a genius. You have to prove it. Some provide better than most. Their PhD is not undermining anyone by any means. I can just tell you, Patrick, that I know people who are doing their masters, who are doing their PhDs, and they are working their ass off in really difficult fields. And I just don't. I take it personally. I'll be honest. I take it personally when they are being, undermined, because you see someone. Oh my goodness, Flame once said that he quickly has to finish a paper, and then he just did an all-nighter and was working 20 hours non-stop because he just had to finish it. So it's just a bit heartbreaking to me see them work so hard and then their work being undermined, What does this piece of paper matter? The piece of paper matters is because it proves that you are on the right of that graph. I'm representing the master thesis writers now. I can confirm. Yeah, exactly. Would you call Blender hard to learn for making videos like yours? It's difficult for me to say, Savarojai, I'll be brutally honest, because every single individual part of Blender is quite easy. The difficulty comes from just how many things there are in Blender. For example, this entire node setup would be really easy to grasp. My geometry node setup would be really easy to grasp. All these setups would be really easy to grasp in isolation, but you know, in the single video there's a lot of this, so. Here, this right here, and then right here we can do 0.4 actually. And screw it, let's do 0.3, slightly faster. I'm gonna trust myself that I actually looked it properly, because if I didn't, that's gonna be a waste of time. And do I undermine their work? Have claimed to badly this was in the end. Take a state test to get my license to practice so I can agree with knowledge gaps. He's still a trusted voice. The reason why Newton is a trusted voice is because you don't need a PhD to be a trusted voice. It's one of many methods. For example, look at me. I don't have a PhD. I don't even have a master's degree. And yet I am still a trusted voice. Why? Well, in my case, it's because I mainly work with people who, you know, are trusted voices, and I check my sources and I research deeply. But the point is, you don't need a PhD to be a scientist. But let's not pretend as if PhDs are worthless, or let's not pretend that PhDs are just a piece of paper, because they're not. PhDs are a badge that represents decades of work. That's what they are. How did he show then he was able to navigating? Do you need a PhD for that? Why would you think you need a PhD for that, class? Why do you think you need a PhD? Where did you get that idea from? Well, listen, if you want to deal with fallacies, let's go for it. You want to do a black and white fallacy? I said that people with PhDs are way more trusted, and you took that to mean that you need a PhD to be trusted, which is twisting what I said. Class, you really, with every passing second, are making me think that you're engaging in less and less honest argument, and more bad faith one. I don't know if you're aware just how much the idea is the interpretation of your argument. Pretty fucking shitty interpretation, that is. I am a person who doesn't have a PhD. I am a person who has a lot of friends who have PhDs, and I am a person who has a lot of friends who don't have PhDs. Well, actually, no, I don't have a lot of friends who have PhDs. I'm sorry, I misspoke. I have a lot of friends who have masters and are working on their PhDs and are working on their master's degrees. All right? Woof. I said that on autopilot, and I just genuinely had to rewind myself to stop. Yeah. I don't have a PhD, but I have friends who are working on their PhDs, have master's degrees, are working on their master's degrees. I also have friends who don't have their PhDs, and I still take them very seriously. For some reason, class, you are trying to make me into a villain to your argument, someone who looks down on people without PhDs. But I sorry, I didn't interpret the argument correctly. I have been trying, class. I have been trying. We've all been trying. Listen, even Savarojai said that they're not getting you either. We hope this will look. Okay, hold on. We had the other one thread up. In this case, what we need is. Alright. Good night, class. Have a good one. In the meantime, what we need to do is we need to find the lightning module, which I have somewhere on my PC. Lord knows where. Lightning. No. Where have I used it before? EE, that's where I used it. Hold on. Basic codes ending. Oh. Uh. This was. Why is this in the folder for that video? Where did I use it in that video? I wish I had friends like that, so I could sit down with them and go over what I'm reading and studying. But I suppose this is what channels like this are here for. Exactly! On my Discord server, there's the physics channel, run by my beloved physics expert, Remco, whom actually was crucial in the making of this video. Alright, let me see. No. 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 None of these. Say that PhDs have the same problems as universities. The amount of disinformation from complete influences. Both those groups have history of exploring the academics and reputation. It's a double-edged sword in this case. And it's all about balance. You don't want people with PhDs to be too trusted, but at the same time, you don't want them to be distrusted. Let's be honest here. A doctor should always be more trusted than an average person. The same way as... Well, not even the same way. They, as I mentioned, prove that they've been studying a topic for decades. At the same time, they shouldn't be trusted absolutely, because there have been scenarios in the past where certain doctors have effectively used their status in order to spread misinformation. That's how anti-vax movement started. Let's not forget, the entire anti-vax movement started with a doctor who exploited their position. Now, yes, they got, if I remember correctly, they lost their doctorate, they lost their PhD, they are no longer a doctor. But still, you see this. It's all about balance, and in this case, I think that... Oh, damn it, this is already applied. Shit. This is exactly the lightning that I've generated using the model I'm looking for. I don't remember where I got the lightning from. Curve. It's an add-on. Is there any reason why my brain hurts when I wake up? I don't know. I don't know medicine. I would consult the doctor about you. Pun intended. Well, reference intended at least. Does it like hurt normally or? Damn it. Damn it. Somewhere on my PC, there is a Blender file with exactly what I need. Does anyone actually understand quantum mechanics? Well, I hope so, because if you've been watching my videos and not understanding quantum mechanics, that means I haven't explained it properly. Yeah, I can't find it, damn it. Oh, okay. Alright. In the meantime, as my explorer is looking for the file, there we go. Okay, there we go. What is this 1440? So 14.1, there we go. Look, you would donate the stream wasn't broke. It's fine, Tilo, it's fine, don't worry. What is this? Oh yeah. It's nice to see the process of making a video. Looks like a lot of work and editing. I wish more creators had a like that. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that sentiment. Not gonna lie to you, it is a lot of work. But they at least look nice, so at least their work isn't wasted. This is a fun one. Okay, I just realized that a lot of this will be the same thing, but oh well. As a visual learner, shows like this are a godsend. Once again, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I really do. I think if you're a visual learner, then honestly, I'm not going to lie to you. When it comes to relativity, for example, I really feel uncomfortable making a video about relativity because Minute Physics did such a good job explaining relativity. I genuinely don't feel like I have much to add to the conversation. But with the quantum field theory, this is genuinely the best visualization of quantum fields I've ever seen. I don't mean it to my own horn, I genuinely mean it in this case. It's not me bragging, that's just why I'm happy to make this video. I've never seen a visualization of quantum fields or quantum interactions that's better than this. Well, especially since, you know, I can just do... There we go, I can just... This is a proton. This is all, well, almost all, because there should be still photons, but I disregarded the electromagnetic field for this because it's trivial. This is effectively what a proton is, with all its elementary particles. It's lovely. Best regards from Berlin. I will not go to drink a lot more. Good night. Good night, Neil. Bye. Have a good one. Good night. I really appreciate you joining in. And have a good night again. There we go. Oh, this is subtle. I'm unfortunately not familiar with them, Patrick. I'm so sorry. I just seen the Minute Physics one. It was brilliant. They made like a model of how it's just really good. Wait, no, this is... Oh, damn it, you are joking me. You mean to tell me that I didn't render a loop for this? Oh, you are pissing me, mate. You are absolutely pissing me right now. It seems like a theory that's best out visually. Yeah, I would agree. The problem is I just don't have an idea for how to visualize it. That's the only issue. Okay, let me just rewind back to... Actually, hold on. Yeah, no, this is the animation. It's right here. This to 720 and 1. Like this, there we go. Ah. Lovely. When I first looked into the curvature stances, I was like, seeing it visually made everything click at once. Yeah, exactly, that's the problem. If I genuinely would need to just look into it, and maybe I could find something. Hopefully I will, because one day I would like to make... Why am I so small, by the way, in the corner? Why none of you told me I'm so small? There we go. Much bigger. For some reason the reactor just made me really tiny. Maybe one day hopefully will make a video about general relativity. I would be excited for it, not gonna lie. It would be fun. Okay. This is what I will need to render, but unfortunately, this right here is taking all of my render space. A minute per frame! You are joshing me. Okay, also, my look just didn't find the... Damn it. It didn't find the add-on for making lightnings, so... Shucks. No. Damn it. Damn it. Right here what I need is clearly a lightning bolt. Alright, let me see. Lightning. I'm looking through my stuff right now to find the... No, damn it. I think it was a lightning. It might have been a vines generator, but no, I think it was a lightning generator. I'm trying to think of another place where I would have used it. And I think I know one actually. Oh, I might know one. Yeah. In there was a... I have so many videos. I have so many videos that are just all unordered and unorganized. This. Let me see. Yes! Yes! Oh my goodness, directional lighting. Absolutely, yes. Can I just paste it in and can I have it not break instantly? Ah, damn it, I just copied it. Oh. Oh, collection, there we go. May I just copy it and have it not break? It broke. And I also found the file. It's in downloads. Well, piss me. Oh no, wait, that's not the right one. Within the quantum field theories, you can touch on electroweak and spinors. Eventually, but that will be quite far down the line. We have a lot of ground to cover before we get there. Oh, that is really nice, actually. Oh, that is such a good... Oh my god. Okay. This entire, by the way, model right here is just for a joke in the video. The joke in the video being that, you know, Oh, what is causing our particles to change? Is it divine intervention? Oh, that be. Oh, crap, I put it to 1, didn't I? Yep, yeah, I to 0, I mean. Yep, I did. Okay, it's gonna crash now, because I'm pretty certain 0 in this case will result in an infinite amount of recursions. Well, fun knowing ya. Time for restart. Yep. Oh, never mind, I'll be damned. Let's see, how's the render looking? My cat and I will be waiting to see how you present them. You might need to wait a bit, because as I mentioned, it might take me a while. That's so dumb. But at the same time, I like dumb, so this is good. Alright, there we go. And then I would like to change this to be a 10, I think. Let's see how it looks. Not bad. All things considered, not bad. I could maybe make it ever so slightly more cinematic. We'll have to see how it works. There we go. The amount of work I put into dumb bits for a video is truly astonishing. Let's see. No, the lighting control that, yeah. Okay, there we go. Let's see. Actually, not bad. Oh, I don't hate that. I don't hate that. Let's see. I just keep cranking it up. Quality over quantity. I really like how you present your research and findings. The randomness makes the rigor of the math flow. I do find that sometimes it's important to add a bit of fun to it. I really don't like the idea of I want to normalize science. That's what I want to do. This is a really like old channel bit, but I used to have this thing where I said that everything was simple. The most famous one is how often I said quantum mechanics is actually really simple. Because what I want to do is I want to make people realize just how easy everything actually is. I don't want people to respect. I don't want people to respect science and think of it as something they would be never able to learn. What I think is I want them to respect science because it is something they can learn. I don't want them to think of quantum mechanics or advanced particle physics as something that takes a lot of effort because I want them to go away from it. I want them to realize how much effort it takes by explaining it to them. Oh, that is such a powerful. That's not bad. What is your favorite research binge? Research binge. Oh, that's a rough one. I have this thing, I'll be completely honest, I don't watch all that much science content on YouTube because I am worried I will subconsciously plagiarize them. I'm genuinely worried about that sort of thing, and that causes me to really shy away from science content. Because if I watch a video I really like, and then I might catch myself just making the exact same animation. Oh yeah, the hand looks so much better if it's actually cut. Oh, maybe, alternatively, we could try this slightly wider, and then right here on the hand, we could try to damn it. Go. Then this 5 or even 3 maybe. Right. It's not really visible. Yeah. Damn it. We could decrease. I do like the brightness of the lighting. I am spending a lot of time on it, aren't I? But in my defense, I am also rendering this animation background, so that's fine. Shading. Okay. Let's divide this by 10. Nikon. And then let's move this. Even better. See how this looks. I don't know if I love this. No, I think I would have preferred the bright one. I think it just look odd. Yeah, they just straight up look odd. Maybe there would be some kind of nice way to... Once again, why am I spending so much time on this? Okay, I am going to spend a comical amount of time on this, but in my defense, I don't have anything. But just trust me, right? We need some kind of geometry... Some kind of geometry data input. As I mean, I can understand the thing very well. My favorite research branch is electromagnetism from the electroweak and solid state physics. I mean, in that case, I would have to say I love solid state physics. Or solid state chemistry, rather. The entire basically field of just electricity from a chemistry perspective, I just love it. Here's what we could do. We could try to do distance of the normal, plug that into a strength, then color ramp. That does make sense. Oh my goodness! This angle is phenomenal. Let's do position. True normal? No, true normal won't do anything either, will it? Also, we plugged in as strength. Yeah, no, because that's global. Incoming? Although it is curious of it divided like that. That's frame. Oh, thank you, Sarare, thank you. Wait, no, it wasn't a texture. Nope, absolutely not. Texture. Let's first try normal. Oh. It's most white. Damn it. Okay, we need some kind of input. Oh, consider me that. Consider me curious. Consider my interest peaked. But it won't be a way to average it out. Wireframe still extremely useful. It will come in handy in the future for me, certainly. Then what else do we have? Volume info, value, UV map, texture coordinate, tangents. That could be interesting. Because effectively, what we want is unless wait. RGB point info? Point info won't work for this, will it? Yeah, it won't, because they're not points. Path going for object info, light path. That is kind of the no. In the surface normal in the view direction. The depending on the angle between the surface normal and the view direction using Fresnel equations. Okay. Wait, that actually maybe. Oh yeah, this does take a lot of this does add a lot of render time. Fortunately, we're trying to just render 2 images, so it will be fine. Orbital theory is very satisfying to see. You mean the theory of how? Oh, molecular orbital theory. For a second, my brain went to orbiting and like space. Right? Yeah. No, that makes more sense. As in atomic orbitals. I like it a lot. My most recent video had a lot about it because of how much I like it. Blender, would you mind? Goodness gracious me, Blender is struggling. Price. Will it be safer in the desert? Okay. Go. Frames. Okay, so this is the repulsion between. There's a repulsion between the electrons using a photon, and now in the video is gonna be. We're not that far off from ending it actually. It's not bad. Okay, there we go. Ah, that looks like shit. There we go. Now, we need music for this segment. This is the bottom line right here, is music. So let's pick something interesting. I do have to say, it's the idea where the video making process is boring. But in my defense, it needs to be done for a video, you know? Might as well do it on the stream. I don't hate that one, that's not bad. Now, which of the two electrons causes the excitation? The left one? The right doesn't. It's superposition. Now, this covers the electromagnetism of the standard model. But I did also promise a particle. So where is that particle? Well, right here. Just like electron is an promise a particle. So where is that particle? Well, right here. Okay, let's cut this. Just like electron is an excitation in its field, photon is an excitation in the electromagnetic field. And that's why it's called the carrier. There we go. Lovely. Lovely. Now, additional sound effects. We need 2 sound effects, and that is ultimate. My files are such a mess. Absolute and complete utter mess. There we go, got it. There we go. There we go. Lovely. There we go. Then right here with the other sound effects. I do have to say, we are making incredible progress. I mean, okay, when I zoom out, it doesn't look like amazing progress, but this is not bad. There we go. It's been 3 hours, not bad. Yeah, we are not doing bad at the moment. Nope, this. The biggest issue of the video making process is, at least for me, well, not the biggest issue, there are a lot of issues, but the biggest, I don't know how to put this actually. The point is, we are going like crazy. We're going really quick, and we've just went from 2 minutes of the video, which is right here, to 6 minutes in 3 hours, which is not bad. However, these are all the animations we have. We are right now on this animation, all of these are already edited, we're right now on this one, these are all the ones we still have. But when it comes to the script of the video, we're only halfway there, which means that there is a lot more animations we need to render. And the issue about rendering animations is that I can't really speed it up. It takes as long as it takes. Oh yeah, this one. Oh, never mind. That's odd. I don't... Rump. You know what? This is not bad. This is not bad, because if we add it like here, and if we do math, divided by 10, screw it. I think that's good it's gonna be. Dividing this by 10 was stretch, but dividing it by 3 should be fine. Mathematician who found the gravitational field equations within the Maxwell field equations. Really? That's curious. Doesn't want to stop. Oh yeah, and the last thing we'll need to add here will be quite simple. That's because I'm just going to add it directly from what you can see on stream. I do have to say, Patrick, I do appreciate your science talk, but you've joined in, unfortunately, for a terrible live stream for this. When it goes to live stream that I have, there are basically like 3 main genres, I would say. The first one is the work stream, which is what we're having right now. Second is the science stream, and usually then I just am joined by someone who's an expert on the topic, and then we just talk about science. Whenever it's Remco for physics and quantum mechanics and quantum field theory, Flame for chemistry, Tefta for electrical engineering, this sort of thing. Or Tefta for physics with Remco, it also happens. And the third kind is just me having fun, like me working on my mask designing and stuff like these. So I am really sorry that I'm not engaging you as much as I should right now, but I am just... I'm the working spirit, and I am really trying to get as much work done as possible. Let's think exhausted naked. It's even better. Let's copy. Alright. There we go. But if I love you, remember my Make It has 3 moods, and 3 moods only. I'm losing my mind, I'm sorry. There we go. Actually, you know what? No, I'm not sorry. I stand by what I said. I just got off work and so you won, and I'm just hanging out for share something with you and community. Oh, don't apologize. No, Patrick, it's fine. Don't apologize. Don't apologize. I'm just letting you know that unfortunately you've tuned into an unfortunate live stream where I'm not engaging you as much as I should. Like, I would love to talk with you about physics, but the issue I have is that I am worried, genuinely terrified of being a bad influence. And that's why I am really hesitant to make any claims on any like specialized advanced field of science without having with me someone who can correct me. So I would love to engage with you, I would love to talk with you, but I am worried that in the process I would spread misinformation. I can cover basics fine, but I feel like basics would be a bit way too low for for you because, well, you're clearly talking about way more advanced things. Quantized inertia tensor. Well, tensors in general. I don't have a reputation for being exactly basic. Oh, and then you. Shucks. Okay, no. Let's move. We need to keep it on the same frame. Let's see it. Okay, there we go. It's not bad. It's not bad for an image that will be on the screen in the video for about 3 seconds. Yeah, not bad at all. Ah, jeez. Why am I like this? I know why, because I'm amazing. Okay. There we go. Then this. Now we can finally turn the unbearingly heavy animation off. There we go. Okay, now what else do we have? Oh yeah, this animation. Did we render it? I don't think we did. Yeah, I don't think we did. It's 681. No. Okay. Understand that. Respect the perspective. I appreciate it too. I'll be on the lookout for more live streams stuff. So the food. Keep up the good work and research. I will try my best. Right here, we need a loop of. Oh, no, we do because it's one set. Damn it! Damn it! The previous electrons were at a distance of 1.3 and a distance of 2, but none of them are at a distance of 1.7. (141 to 20). There we go, and then we have this. Lovely. We're at 6:30. Not once again, not bad. We are moving along. We are moving along. This time it's seamless, which is nice. There we go, and this. This. Why is it like? Oh, because we ran it. Damn it! Ha 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 ha. I can walk around it. There we go. There we go. Go. Yes, that's correct. This instead. This. I don't like it when like Premiere glitches ever so slightly because it makes me feel like I messed up the animation. It's not actually continuous. Go and then this. Okay, there we go, and then this. I know you can't hear it, so I'm just gonna say because, well, I have the disable disabled. But right here I say, now we can get back to our bingo to fill up the up quirk and the down quirk. Despite the fact that earlier on in this video, we have already filled in the up quirk and the down quirk because I messed up the order of the animations. This is the up quirk, this is the down quirk. Shucks, happens. There we go, and then... Oh, it's so nice to see all of it actually clicking together and working. Uh-oh. How did I mess this up so badly? Uh-oh. Oh no. Oh damn it. Just straight up, oh damn it. How is this the same script? What? hold on, because I am saying something right here, which doesn't appear to be at all like the animations. Okay, so apparently this entire segment of the video I just didn't make animations for. To be fair, it will be redundant, so that's at least good. There we go. I bet you have more caffeine in your veins than actual blood. I'm drinking my first cup today. Il Panda, come on. By the way, welcome back to live streams. I haven't seen you in a while. How you doing? Oh yeah. There we go. There we go. Yeah, I'm convinced my okay. Convince my school to let my teach computer science class. I'm getting paid to yell at people twice my age. Good for you, El Panda. Good for you. Go this and then. Here we go. Proton! It's a proton. Leave a message out for me, a dead guy, and your sleeping parents. Huh? El Panda, I don't get your last message, I'll be honest. we go. 9 minutes. Oh my goodness, we are moving quick. That's really good. We do need some music for this segment. So let me just once again, same idea. I do have one which is literally called Hardcore Party. All the boys on stream are dead or sleeping. Well, listen, that's just the time I have to stream, alright? I am aware. Our Upwork. I do think it's funny that can be blue, for example. The second can be green. I'm just gonna have it be for half a second. Green, the third one. The third one can be red. Now the way this. The third one can be red. Make it a second farm engagement. We effectively take the quirks, we take their colors, and actually, we also give a screenshot just to prove it. And then I'm gonna use Quantum Dreams in the same way. Because it is funny. Particle physics, save. There we go. Then screenshot. Here. There we go. The third one can be red. Now the way the strong interaction works is simple. Brilliant. Yes. And there we go. We end up with a proton. I just think it's fitting that we have this on the screen and what's playing in the background is Particle Party. I don't know, this seems right. There we go. Minus 1/3. There we go. Lovely. If I was a proton, I'd be happy. Well, believe it or not, you're many. Why just a proton? You're protons. Yeah, we practically reached the animations we're rendering right now. Oh, it takes 2 minutes per frame. Oh my goodness, it's not great. Actually, wait, how am I doing this? Copy this. There we go. Minus 1/3, minus 1/3. Plus 2/3. Splendid. There we go. Do they have class wars? Have they solved nucleus hunger? Oh yeah, the top quirk elites are just hoggling all the energy. Poor down quirks. No one even's talking about the leptins of the matter. They bust their ass off. They do everything they can, and what they get for it, nothing. The Lord Higgs just rules over them. There we go. This is the last animation I have rendered so far, and this is how much more of the video we have to finish. Brilliant. Okay. Hold on, let me just check something real quick. Alright, and back. Now, right here, I'm going to cut this for now. And I'm going to select everything except for audios in there. Nest preview 1. I'm just gonna upload on Patreon just to see what everyone thinks. But first, I would really like to wait for, well, first of all this to complete it, and then the other animation, which is this. Minutes per frame. And we're still 36 frames. You are joking me. How life matters. Yeah, the decay in our particles, it's terrible. Okay, how long till this one? I'm guessing 14, yeah. Which would mean around 14 minutes till this one finishes rendering. What can we do in the meantime as this is rendering? Because we do need to like wait around now 20 minutes for this to finish. Okay. I don't know what to do right now. I'm just sitting and thinking. Well, standing and thinking actually. Oh, you know what I can do? Because I've been having, well, a bit of a slow weekend, unfortunately. I wasn't working quite as much as I should have been. But still, as we just render GPU, make it a little faster. I don't have the money for that, Panda. Like, the thing is, this isn't a killer for me, it's just slowing me down. It isn't stopping me in my tracks. I can still do other things in the background. Like, for example, this 21st. 6. Oh shit. Okay. So far in the progress, this 21, I am minus 0.6 behind, which is bad. That's really far behind. Now let me just add in. Let me add in all of the progress we've done. This is like half of the video finished. Wait, no. More like 25 divided by. No, wait. 10 divided by 25, right? I guess right. I don't think I did. No, it will be 4. Okay. Alright. Let me just add in everything that we've done here today. And right now we are day 9. Minus 0.5, still behind. Shit. Even further behind than we were yesterday. Shit. Okay, not gonna lie, I was expecting it to be a lot better. Not great. Right, still it needs 10 times, so 400 seconds. Okay. Actually, we might call it the stream here. Because at this point all I need to do is just render a couple things. And that's not gonna be even slightly interesting. I will probably do another live stream later on, if I'm lucky. If these renders don't take... You need to go to sleep. Sleep? No. I'm gonna work. I'm just gonna be rendering, so it's not gonna be interesting. If I'm lucky, and if these animations don't take a crazy long amount of time to make, then tomorrow the video should be up. If these animations will take a crazy long amount of time, well then it won't be up tomorrow. Now, I hope you've enjoyed this, I hope you'll enjoy the video, and for now, that'll be it. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day. Bye.